guys, so today I have a really exciting video for you guys. This is going to be another video in the Back to Basics series. This one is going to be all about brushes and everything that you need to know about brushes and what brushes you need to have to kind of get started. Woo, my hair's going crazy. Kind of get started when you are just starting out doing makeup and learning how to do makeup and all of that. And I'm just going to kind of talk to you guys about some of my favorite brushes and brushes that I would recommend, and also just tell you guys about brushes that are just brushes that are staples in your collection that I feel like you should have. Now, brushes, I feel personally, are a investment. I feel like you should invest in brushes because it is kind of true, like, and my mom says this all the time, but you get what you pay for. There are some really good brands out there that sell their brushes for cheaper, and their brushes are amazing. I also still recommend that you just have your few staples that you just kind of have in your collection that are a little bit more expensive, that will last you a long time. If you're buying good quality brushes, they're gonna last you longer because brushes can fall apart and you do have to get rid of them after a couple of years. They will last you a long time if you take care of them. And another thing about taking care of them is you have to make sure you're washing them. I will leave a link in the description box so you guys can go check out my video that I posted on Friday about how to clean your makeup brushes, and that will talk more on how to wash your brushes and keeping them clean and how often you should clean them and things like that. But if you are cleaning them the right way and you're treating them the right way and you're not too rough on them, your brushes should last you a really long time. And so you are investing in them because they're gonna last you a long time. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is brush sets. So you can get brush sets a lot of different places. There are a couple of different websites online that you can order brush sets off of. You can get brush sets at Target, you can get brush sets at Ulta. I'm going to tell you the brush sets that I personally would recommend to you guys. So the first one, and probably the most well-known here on YouTube, is Sigma.com. So you can go to Sigma and just look at their brushes. They do sell all of their brushes separately, but they also have amazing brush sets. Now, they are more on the more expensive side as far as brush sets go, but when you think about it, one brush about this size would probably run for anywhere from like $30 to $50 depending on where you go, but they're usually about $30 to $50 just for a brush that size and for that type of brush. But you can get a whole set off of Sigma.com for under $200, which is really good. And it will come with 12 brushes, depending on which brush set you get. I'm going to be talking about the one with 12 brushes. I can't remember what the brush set is called, but I will leave the link down below where you guys can check this out. So it will come with just a few brushes, or 12 brushes that you may need. So the first one is just a Sigma foundation brush. This is the F60. I actually don't use this that often. These are really old school and you can use them, and they are foundation brushes and they work okay. I don't prefer them because I personally feel like they leave streaks on your face. They don't blend well enough. They don't have enough dimension to give you like a good coverage, and I don't really love this brush, but this will come in the set. Another brush that also comes in the Sigma set is the Sigma Duo Fiber F50. Now this is where I'm going to really get into it. So a brush like this is perfect for someone that wants a light coverage. This is for foundation. This brush is for foundation, and this is for someone that wants a little bit more of a light coverage and kind of wants to get their foundation on fast in the morning and just kind of needs to get it on and go. So maybe if you're wearing a BB cream or just a really light foundation, or you just want to put on your foundation really light, this is going to give you a really nice airbrush finish and just look beautiful. It has two different types of bristles, and it kind of gets really soft and fluffy at the top, but it's more dense towards the bottom. This is an amazing brush for everyday makeup if you really just want to, like I said, just kind of get your makeup on and go. What I would do with this brush is I would just kind of dip it into your foundation, stipple it on your face first, so just like use patting motions, and then really buff it into your skin and just work it around your face, and that will give you a pretty light coverage. A brush that isn't as dense will give you a lighter coverage, and a brush that's super dense and the bristles are really packed in there tightly are going to give you a more fuller coverage. So a brush like this is going to give you a little bit less coverage, but it's still a great foundation brush. It's also super easy to use, and it blends everything so effortlessly in itself. It's really easy for a beginner. The next brush that comes in the set is the Large Powder F30, which is the brush I just showed you. This brush is huge. This is basically just for setting your foundation. So you can just dip this into your powder and just put the powder lightly all over your face. It's going to give you the perfect amount of dusting so you're not picking up too much, because the bristles, once again, aren't so tightly packed in there. It's just a little bit of a fluffier brush, and it's not as dense, so it's going to give you more of a lighter finish and lighter coverage with your powder, so you're not really packing it into your face and putting too much on. So I find this perfect for if your foundation already looks pretty good, you just kind of want to set in the center of your face just to kind of make sure that there's no oils coming through the day. I would suggest a powder like this, or just to blend your makeup on your face. This is another good thing. Like if you already have powder on, or you have your bronzer and your blush and you've done it a little too heavy, you can just kind of run it over with this brush, and this brush is great for that. But this is just an amazing overall powder brush, just to kind of dip in your powder and just lightly just dust it all over your face. It'll give you an amazing finish, and this is just a really good brush, and because it is so large, it's going to kind of cover a good amount of your face at once, so this is also quick and easy. The next brush that will come in this set is the Sigma Large Angle Contour F40. This is great for tons of things. As you can see, mine has pink on it, so I used it for blush today, but it is a large angle contour brush, so you can use this to contour your cheeks. This is one of those brushes that I always recommend to get, because you can kind of use it every day for like multiple different things. You can use this as a bronzer brush and bronze up your forehead and your cheeks and down your neck with this. You can use this as a contour brush and just really get into your cheekbones and contour with it. The shape of it is really good for contouring because it's kind of chiseled, and it will just kind of like fit in your cheek perfectly when you're trying to contour with it. That's why it is called a contour brush, because that's really what it's meant for, but it can also do a million other things. And you can also apply your blush with it, which is what I do, and you can just kind of lightly, you know, dust on your blush. So this brush is perfect and is just an overall universal good brush to have, and well worth the money. So yeah. Next brush is just a concealer brush. This is the F70, and this is just a good brush to have whether you use it for concealer or not. I don't really like this for using it for like under the eye concealer. I like to use this maybe for if you have blemishes and you just want to kind of dab the concealer and you want to kind of spot conceal wherever you may have a blemish or a pimple coming out on your face. This is really good for that because the bristles are so densely packed. It's going to give you a really good coverage, but I don't think that this is the best like blending brush. Once again, it's kind of like that foundation brush where it's not really going to blend that well for you. So if you just, I really like this for just packing on the color where I want it and the product where I want it, and then using another brush to blend it out, and it will work really well for that. And you can just use this on spot concealing, and that's what I would use for this more than anything. The next brush is a tapered blending E40. This is a lot like what MAC people would call a 224. It's just a big fluffy blending brush. Blending brushes are super important, and you can use this for tons of different things. You can use this for contouring down your nose. You can use this for a highlight on your cheekbones, but this is known for blending out eyeshadow in your crease or on your eye. If you're just trying to blend an eyeshadow on, this is a good brush for that. Just an overall good brush to have, just to make sure you're blending all your colors out really well. A blending brush is well needed. The next brush is just your typical brush to just pack on shadow. This is just a flat shader brush. This one is E55, and it is just a super small, as you can tell, very thin on all sides, flat shader brush. It has natural hair bristles, so it's not synthetic, so it's going to pick up the product really well, and it's going to pack it on really intensely. I really feel that a nice brush like this is just going to pack on your shadow on your lid is really needed, because it's just going to really help to kind of get you the coverage that you want with your makeup and get you the pigmentation that you want, and it's going to be amazing. And this is just a good brush to have. The next brush is this E70. Now, I don't necessarily think this is necessary to have, but it is a good brush to have. This is a medium angled shading, so you can use this in your crease. It's kind of that chiseled shape again, so it's kind of like the angle brush. It has a lot of different Uses, so it's known to use in your crease, and you kind of can just put a crease color in with this really easily because of the way that it's shaped. It's really easy to put a crease color in. You could also use this for contouring down your nose. I mean, this brush just has a lot of different uses, but this is known for for putting color in your crease, and I do use it every once in a while for that, but I don't reach for this brush so often. Next brush is a large shader E60. This is just a really nice shader brush. This will give you a little bit of a lighter coverage than this shader, the E55, because the bristles aren't as dense. But I like to use this for a highlighter. You can use this for just a quick wash over the lid. If you are just looking for like a quick wash over your lid, I do think that this is really nice, but I think if you're looking for something precise, this is way too big for that. But this is just an amazing brush to have. The next brush is the pencil brush, and this is the E30. They call this a pencil brush because it's kind of shaped like a pencil, and this is really good for getting shadow underneath your eyes, getting into your inner corner, doing any detail crease work. That is what this brush is really good for. It's super tiny, as you guys can tell. It's like really little, but it works really well, and honestly, I actually do think that this is a brush that everybody should have because that's how often you use it. The next brush is a eyeliner brush, and this is the E05. Now this brush is a little bit thicker eyeliner brush than I typically would like to use, but this is great for beginners because it is a little bit bigger, it's a little bit easier to handle, and this is basically good if you're going to use a cream liner. This is what this brush is good for. So it's really good just to really kind of get in to your lash line with the cream product that you're using and just really get a good line, and that brush is perfect for that. And the last brush that would come in this set, if you got this set, is the small angle E65. Another really good brush for eyeliner. If you're just starting out, this is also really good because this already has an angle on it, so you can kind of get your cat eye really good with this. So if you're just starting out with the cat eye, I highly recommend a brush that looks like this because it's going to really help you kind of get your cat eye really good because it's just a one quick swoop down like this and, you know, over. And it's just really good. So those are all of the brushes that come in the Sigma set. I think that if you're going to go for a set, that is the one to get because it just has everything that you're going to need to start off. You can do anything that you want with this brush set because it has just all the variety of everything that you're gonna need, and it's just an amazing variety of brushes, and it's gonna get you the look that you want with these brushes. And a lot of these brushes can be used, a lot of these brushes do have a multi-use kind of thing to them, so you can use these brushes for more than one thing on your face and get a lot of different looks with these brushes. So that is a really good brush set just to have. Now if you want to go a little bit further than that, you can start buying single brushes from Sigma. One of the brushes that I highly recommend you get, even if you don't want to buy the whole brush set, but if you're someone that wants a fuller coverage foundation and you want to just kind of do your foundation really fast and easy and quickly and just kind of have the brush do all the work for you, I highly recommend the Sigma Flat Top Kabuki F80. You can also get this in a rounded version. Honestly, there's not much difference to these. I like the F80 because I feel like it really just blends really easily. And the F82, that's what this one is, the round kabuki. This one does too, but I would recommend getting the F80 first before you get the F82. This is just an amazing brush to really blend your foundation in, and the bristles on this are super dense and really compact in there. So it's really good for a full coverage foundation. This is actually what I use to get the foundation that I'm wearing today. It gives you an airbrush look because the bristles are so finely compacted, just like, I don't even know how it does it. It just gets your foundation looking amazing. It will work really well blending your foundation into your skin, and this will do all of the blending for you so you don't even have to worry about it. This is just an amazing brush, and if you want to go, like I said, that one step further in your makeup routine and you want to just kind of get a brush that's just a good everyday foundation brush, I also really highly recommend a brush like this. And if you didn't want to spend as much as Sigma asks for that brush, you can also, they sell a brush that's basically similar, like basically the same type of brush at Target. This is from the Sony Kashuk line. It's just a little bit smaller, so it's going to take you a little bit longer, but it still does pretty much the same job. It's pretty much just as soft and it works just as good. Another thing also, that if you guys didn't want to get the brush set, this is a really good blending brush as well, and this is also from Sony Kashuk. This is actually just a little bit smaller. The bristles are a little bit more compact together than the Sigma one. This is the blending brush that I told you I liked from Sigma, but this one's really good, and it's from Sony Kashuk, and it's only $8. So it's a really good blending brush if you're just starting out and you just need a really good blending brush. I actually reach for this one almost every day. It's an amazing blending brush. It really blends, and it is so soft, so it's not going to be like poking your eyeball out. Another brush that I do think is a staple in everybody's collection is a MAC 217. We all know about this brush, at least if you are here on YouTube, you guys have probably seen at least someone use some type of brush like this. I personally feel like there's no other dupe for the MAC 217. I have tried Sigma's version, I've tried everybody's version. I just like the MAC 217. This is a great brush for just anybody. I can do my whole eye with this, like the whole eye. I don't need any other brush, and I can do my whole eye with this. So if you're wanting to invest in a good brush, although I do like my flat shader brush for the lid, and I like the pencil brush and everything like that, I can create an eye with this brush. I can wash the lid color on, I can put a color in my crease, I can put my highlighter on, I can blend shadow underneath with this brush. I really like this brush, and I highly recommend everybody checking this brush out if you're just getting started, because this brush can do so many things for you. The next brush I'm going to talk about, and one of the last, is just an eyebrow brush. I would highly recommend that, especially if you really are just wanting to fill in your eyebrows and you're wanting to experiment with your brows. The brush is everything. I know it seems silly, it sounds silly, but honestly, the makeup brush that you use for your eyebrows is gonna halfway determine how your eyebrows are going to come out, because there are a lot of dupes for a brush like this, which is just a super small angled brush. There are a lot of dupes like this out there that I do find that aren't as good as this one. This one is my favorite one. This is the Anastasia number 12 eyebrow brush. Now this is good for a cream product if you're going to be using a cream and like the Dip Brow pomade, or if you're going to be using just anything that has like a wet-ish texture. That is what this is good for, and it's also really good because it comes with a spoolie to kind of brush out your brows. If you just are starting out and you want to use a powder, the next one I would highly recommend is the MAC 266. It's basically the same thing, but this brush is a little bit thicker, so the bristles are also natural, so it's going to pick up powder better than a synthetic brush, which is what the Anastasia one is. And so basically the rule to thumb is that with eyebrow brushes and brushes like this that are angled, the small angled one, is that the synthetic ones are going to pick up creams better, and the natural haired brushes are going to pick up powder better. So if you want a powdery, so if you're going to try to use a powder on your eyebrow, I definitely suggest trying to find a natural haired brush. And if you're going to go with a cream on your eyebrows, I would suggest a synthetic brush. So basically that is everything that I wanted to show you guys for today. Now I can go definitely a lot more into depth with this video. If you want me to, I can make a second one of these if this wasn't enough information for you guys, but I could literally sit here and describe brushes all day long and show you every single brush that I have in my collection, but the video would literally be an hour long. So I have to cut it somewhere, and this is where I'm going to stop this video, because there is seriously so many brushes that you guys can get out there, but I am going to leave links to my favorite brushes and my personal staple brushes down below. I would recommend starting out with a brush, like I said, a brush set from Sigma or another company, which I will leave a couple different alternatives down below for a brush set that's going to basically give you the same thing, and it's going to give you your staple brushes. I would suggest a brush set when you're first getting out, give you all of the staples that you need, and it's going to be the best thing for you. It's going to be the best investment for you if you're just starting out. But if you didn't want to spend as much money, you could always just go to Target. I highly recommend the Sonia brush. brush, the Sonia Kashuk brush line. Their brushes are really good. They also come with sets that aren't as expensive. Actually, they're less than half the price as the Sigma brush set, and you can get some of the same brushes and pretty much your staple brushes in those sets as well. So like I said, I really hope this video was helpful to those of you who just wanted to kind of know what each brush is for, and you guys see us using these brushes but you don't understand why we're using it for this reason and why we're using it for that, and I kind of wanted to just kind of tell you guys why you use certain brushes and explain what brushes you're going to need in order to start out your makeup and kind of what you're going to need for what you're looking for. So I really highly recommend that you guys check out these brushes. Like I said, I did not go into detail as much as I wanted to in this video, but I have to cut this video off somewhere, like I said, because I can go on all day long. But if you guys did like this video and you guys found this video helpful, give this video a big thumbs up. If you guys want to see more videos like this one, then subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.